the key thing to success in my book, it boils down to, in my case, my actual great failing. When I was a kid, I was one of the world's worst students. With a last name like Young, this is back in the days before, you know, sort of, we've become so sensitive about the ego and the what do they call it? The self-esteem of our kids. You know, back in my day, kids' self-esteem, and slap them about the head if they didn't have self-esteem. You know, so they used to literally post the exam marks on the door, and you know, so everyone got to see, and they posted them by marks. And I used to think they posted them alphabetically, because Young was always at the bottom of the list. I was a really bad student. So I came out of my 16 or so years of education, including 4 years in college, and with knowing one thing my teachers had taught me 16 years in a row, which was that I was the dumbest guy in the room. So how do you succeed when you're the dumbest guy in the room? And the answer is find the smartest kids in the room and convince them to work with you on the project. So it boils down to, the rule is, treat your staff, your colleagues, think of it as intellectual property, or the intellectual capability of your team. And the more you can maximize the total intellectual capability of all of the members of your team, the more effective you're going to be as an organization. So you aren't nice to your staff because you're a nice person. Well, hopefully you are nice to your staff because you're a nice person, but that's not the point. The reason you empower your staff, the reason you train them well, you motivate them well, you treat them well, and you treat them with respect, is you need their help if you're going to be successful. Because no entrepreneur, okay, with the exception of Steve Jobs, is smart enough to build successful companies by themselves. You need a team of really smart people, and that's the beauty of the fun bit of being a nice person. Lines up neatly with what you need to be successful in business, which is to empower, get your staff to work with you to make the world a better place for your customers.
You've seen the advice, now it's time to take action. Join us to discuss this advice, search for more expert advice, or tell us about your biggest problems in business.